Hello everyone, welcome to Concept Classes. Today we shall do a ballad in the form of poem named The Tale of Custard the Dragon. Okay, before I start with the poem or ballad, let us first know about the writer of this ballad. Okay, we shall learn about what is the meaning of ballad, but let us learn about the author. Okay, author Auden Nash was an American poet born on 19th of August, right? 19th of August 1902. Okay, he wrote the ballad The Tale of Custard the Dragon. All right, and he mainly wrote humorous poetry. Okay, humorous poetry. Humorous means funny. Okay, he was an excellent man of letters. All right, so these are some of his works which have been mentioned here. Okay, you can just go through once. So let us jump to the ballad. Before I start with the ballad, let me just give you a brief overview of the ballad, okay, which is in the form of poem. Ballad, you should know that it is a story. Okay, ballad is actually a story which is written in poem format. Okay, a story written in a poem format. Again, there are this is a ballad which is a poem. Again, there are some ballads which are written as songs. Okay, verses in songs. One of the most popular, as I know, which I have listened to, is a song Not All Heroes Wear Capes from the album Owl City. Alright, so you can just browse this song and enjoy the melodious tune on that music on that song. Okay, all right, so capes, I mean, which Superman wore, okay, in his movie Superman. All right, that fabric. Okay, so in this poem we are going to learn about a heroic character. Who is the heroic character? It is the dragon. All right, who has been compared with a custard. Okay, this poem is very humorous as well as contrasting. Okay, so how is it contrasting? As we know that dragon is a very scary character, isn't it? Something we feel afraid of. But in this poem, the dragon has been portrayed as a custard. As we know, custard is a very sweet dish, isn't it? So in the same way, dragon hair has been compared with sweetness. All right. Again, there are some other characters such as cat. Okay, not cat, kitten. Okay, kitten. But is the kitten grown up? No, it is a little black kitten. Okay, I mean, all the characters in this ballad have been portrayed in a very adorable and a cute manner. Okay, I mean, everything is little. All right, why? Because ballad, as I've told you, that it mainly deals about heroic adventure of of a character. Okay, in this case it is the dragon. Okay, now if you compare anyone's psychology, okay, how do we consider someone as heroic? Let me give you an example. Say someone who has scored 90% in class 9 and has secured 95% in class 10, will you feel shocked or amazed? No. Whereas suppose someone has scored 40% in class 9 and 97% in class 10 board, will you feel amazed? Yes. Why? So in this case 40% is what? Little, right? In this case this is gigantic, or something heroic, right? Something, it requires a lot of effort, right? Someone who has been scoring 40% all through his life and suddenly has worked so much so that he or she has secured 97%. It's a very hard nut to crack for someone with 40%. Okay, not a hard nut to crack for someone who is 90%, because he or she has been consistent in thriving for in securing such good percentages. All right, that is why the characters have been shown as little, who do something very great, which proves the little dragon as hero. Okay, so I hope you have the overview of the poem, so let us start with the poem. Before I start, let me just read this introduction. All right, this poem is written in the style of a ballad. What is a ballad? ballad is a story written in poem format. Okay, kindly pay your due interest while I'm explaining, so that you do not find it difficult to contemplate. Okay, it will not be a hard nut to crack any longer. All right, as again, a song or a poem. Ballad is a song or a poem that tells a story, as I've already told. Okay, story written in a poem format. Okay, you must be familiar with ballads that narrate tales of courage, of heroism. Ballad is a story written in poem format, right? But again, story of what story? Only heroic stories. Okay, where there will be a hero or someone who has done something so great that we consider him or her a hero, or in this case an animal. Okay, it. This poem is a humorous ballad close to a parody. Okay, parody means, you know, a kind of a movie. Okay, I mean, just listen to as it starts and how we come to an end. Okay, read it aloud, paying attention to the rhythm. Okay, Auden Nash has paid due attention in forming rhythmic contemplation of each of the stanzas. Okay, see, house, mouse, wagon, dragon. So this is what A, B, B, isn't it? If you have watched the previous video on Amanda, okay, I have taught you that how to contemplate rhythmic, you know, I mean rhyming scheme. Okay, so rhyming scheme in this poem is A, B, B. Again, in this case, see, ink, blink, mustard, custard, teeth underneath, nose, toes. Okay, so as we move ahead, we shall learn more about this rhyming scheme. Okay, okay, so with the name of God, let us start. Valinda lived in a little white house. Valinda is the name of a little girl. Okay, Valinda lived in a little white house with a little black kitten and a little grey mouse and a little yellow dog and a little red wagon and a Realio Trulio little pet dragon. Okay, now Belinda is a little girl who lived in a little white house. Okay, so this is the image which I've inserted here so that you know for your due reference. Okay, lived in a little white house. See, little, with a little black kitten. Okay, and a little gray mouse and a little yellow dog and a little red wagon. Everything has been portrayed in a little way. Okay, I mean everything is miniature. All right, this is a wagon. Okay, colored red. This is a wagon. All right, little red wagon and a Realio Trulio little pet dragon. See, so what is Realio? Realio, what is the actual word? It is real, and Trulio is true. Then why did author use Realio and Trulio? This is, authors have license to make certain changes in word if it helps in rhythmic contemplation. Okay, see, Realio, Trulio, these two words have some rhythmic effect, isn't it? That is why the poet has used Realio and Trulio. Had poet used real and true, does it have any rhythmic effect? No. But in case of Realio, Trulio, these two rhymes. Okay, can we as a normal, you know, I mean learned people, can we use Realio, Trulio? No, because we are not poets, but poets have poetic license to make changes in these words. Okay, only poets can. Right, if you as a person, if you write an application with Realio and Trulio, the other person will not be able to contemplate. Okay, but as a poet they have the license. Let's remember. Okay, now let for you, just for your future reference. Okay, you as an individual, all right, can you break the traffic signal? No, isn't it? Okay, we cannot break traffic signal, but an ambulance, they can, right? Because they are licensed. All right, they have the license. In case if they are in an emergency, they can break the traffic signal, or even a police on something that is, you know, so something that deals in emergency services. All right, now so the first stanza, basically, you know, gives the introduces, it's, let me write it here, introduction. Okay, it is the introduction of all the characters in this poem. Okay, Realio, Trulio, little pet dragon. Okay, again in the first stanza, this may come, this is very important. Okay, this may come as your one more question. Okay, have you noticed this word lived? Okay, lived in this case is what? Lived is past or present? It is past. Okay, again in the fourth stanza, was. So was is again past or present? It is past. All right, why past? Because this is what we are, this is a parody. Okay, in a movie it first initiates with something from past, isn't it? Then something, some heroic adventure. Okay, I mean there's a fight between hero and villain, right? And then at the end we come to the present, right? We start from past and in between there is some fight between hero and villain, and then we come to present, right? So this is how it will go on. Okay, I hope I'm clear with the first stanza. Moving ahead, see, now the name of the little black kitten was Ink, and the little gray mouse, little black kitten was Ink, little gray mouse she called him Blink, and the little yellow dog was sharp as mustard, but the dragon was a coward, she called him Custard. She here is who? Belinda. Okay, see, now in this second stanza the poet gives the names of the character. Okay, what is the name of the little black kitten? It was Ink. Little gray mouse, it was, she called him Blink. Little yellow dog was as sharp as mustard. Mustard, have you heard of mustard? Mustard seed. Okay, mustard seed, in Hindi we call it sarso. Okay, sarso ka tel, we have must have heard of mustard oil, sarso ka tel. Okay, so mustard, you know, it's a very sharp means, you know, if like in case if you have smelled it, okay, it causes some irritation on your eyes. Okay, it is, so this is how sharpness is measured. So yellow dog was sharp as mustard, but the dragon was a coward, and she called him Custard. Okay, I have already discussed about custard in the initial few lines of the poem. Okay, so in the first stanza, what did we learn about? Introduction. Second stanza talks about the names of those, you know, characters. Okay, introduction of characters. All right, introduction of characters. Okay, now Custard the dragon in the third stanza. Okay, Custard the dragon had big sharp teeth and spikes on top of him and scales underneath, mouth like a fireplace, chimney for a nose, and Relio Trulio daggers on his toes. Okay, so in this stanza, in the third stanza, the poet gives the description of whom? Description of the dragon. Okay, only of the dragon, not of any of the characters such as kitten or mouse. All right, so only of the dragon. So Custard the dragon, Custard the name of the dragon, had big sharp teeth. Okay, so Custard had a big sharp, say suppose this one, okay, big sharp teeth. Okay, this character, in case if you have noticed, okay, this is a character I have taken from a movie, How to Train Your Dragon. Okay, from a movie, How to Train Your Dragon. There are several sequences. Okay, 1, 2, 3. It's a very interesting movie, and the production house is, you know, I suppose it is DreamWorks. Okay, DreamWorks production house. Okay, not the Disney, DreamWorks, but even they produce excellent movies. Okay, so this is the character which I have taken, because the character looks very adorable and cute, isn't it? Okay, so this I have just taken the character for your reference. Okay, though How to Train Your Dragon does not have anything to do with this poem. Okay, okay, now see, in case if you watch, you can watch the movie. Okay, it's very interesting. So Custard the dragon had big sharp teeth and spikes on top of him. Spikes, as we know, okay, in case, okay, here, okay, just there are some spikes. Okay, so these are spikes. All right, so spikes on top of him, scales. Okay, these are called scales. Okay, even you know, even on the dragon there are scales. Okay, here these are scales. Okay, so I have just inserted the image of a fish with scales. Okay, which, you know, fishermen which you know, I mean, the fish seller, before they sell fish, they sometimes scrape off these scales, isn't it, before they sell it to a buyer, right? They scrape this off and discard it, so that the buyer, when they take it to their home, do not have to work on scraping on these scales. All right, so these are scales. All this. Okay, I hope I'm clear with the scales now. Mouth like a fireplace. This is a fireplace and chimney for a nose. As this fireplace is burning, we all know that there will be some smoke which will generate, and it has to come out from somewhere, isn't it? Right? So how will the smoke from where will the smoke come out from? This way, from here, right? This is a chimney. Okay, so mouth like a fireplace and chimney for a nose, and realio trulio daggers on his toes. This is a dagger, means his I mean the what do you call it, daggers, or I mean daggers means nails. Okay, dagger here refers to nails. All right, nails of dragon is compared with a dagger, means very sharp. It is, means what? Now if a question comes, the toes of custard were very sharp, true or false? It is true. Why? Because the nails in on the toes of dragon has been compared with dagger. So this is a dagger. Okay, I have just inserted the image for your reference. Okay, all right. I hope I'm clear with the three stanzas. Okay, moving ahead. I hope you're liking it. Okay, we are just coming with the introduction. Okay, see, past introduction. Then there will be some some hero versus villain fight. Okay, who is the hero here? Dragon, and villain we shall come across. Okay, I'm just telling you beforehand, it is a pirate. Okay, and then we shall come to present tense. Okay, now Belinda was now let us come to the fourth stanza. Belinda was as brave as barrel full of bears. Barrel full. Okay, this is a barrel. Okay, it is an idiom. Barrel full of bears is an idiom, means kahawat. Okay, barrel full of bears means like barrel full of bears. It means, okay, a person without any fear, okay, or a feeling of anxiety about something may happen. Basically, someone without fear is called barrel full of bears. Okay, fearless. So can I say Belinda was fearless? Yes. Okay, and Ink and Blink chased Lion down the stairs. Mustard was as brave as a tiger in a rage, but Custard cried for a nice safe cage. In the fourth stanza, the poet has tried to give the what do you call it the about the strength and weakness of these characters. Okay, Belinda, Ink, Blink, all right, and Mustard. Okay, they have been, Ink is what? Ink is the mouse. Okay, Ink is the mouse, right? What is the name is? Okay, oh sorry, kitten is the ink. Okay, I'm sorry. So, Ink is kitten, Blink is mouse, and Mustard is dog, and Belinda is the little girl. Okay, so the girl, kitten, mouse, and dog, they are strong. They have been portrayed as strong, but dragon, who is the Custard? Custard is the dragon. So dragon here is being portrayed as someone very weak. Okay, someone who feels afraid always. All right, but Custard cried for a nice safe cage. Okay, okay, so Belinda was as brave as barrel full of bears. Okay, barrel full of bears means an idiom which contemplates as fearless. Okay, Ink and Blink. See, how will you remember Ink as kitten? Okay, Ink, kitten. Forget kitten. I'm just giving you a trick to remember. Okay, do not get confused during the examination. Ink is of how many letters? 3 letters. Cat, how many letters? 3 letters. So can I say Ink as kitten? Right, because kitten because kitten is what, is the infant of a cat, right? Okay, first kitten, then they grow up to be a cat, right? So can I say kitten as cat? So Blink as what? Mouse. So if Ink is clear, you will not have any doubt with Blink and Mustard. Mustard we know is sharp as dog. Okay, so Mustard, dog. Blink what? Is a mouse. Custard we know very adorable. I've already told you. Custard, the tail of Custard, the dragon. So Custard is a dragon. Belinda is a little girl. Blink is the mouse. Mustard is the dog. And Ink, I-N-K, 3 letters. C-A-T, 3 letters. So cat is what? So suppose kitten. Okay, so this is how you can remember. Okay, all right. So Mustard was as brave as a tiger in a rage. Tiger in a rage means Mustard dog is compared with a tiger who is very angry. And Ink and Blink here are, the kitten and mouse are being portrayed as if they have the courage to chase lion down the stairs. Okay, I hope I'm clear with the concept. Okay, but Custard cried for a nice safe cage. Okay, Custard always cried here means, you know, he always asked, doesn't literally mean to cry, okay, means asked, okay, give me a nice safe cage, okay, just give me a nice safe cage and I shall just stay there. All right, dragon, okay, I'm talking about the dragon, okay. I hope I'm clear with the initial 4 stanzas, okay. So in the first stanza the poet talks about introduction, in the second stanza the poet talks about the names, and the third stanza, let me just distinguish this, okay, names, and the third stanza the poet talks about the description of dragon. In the fourth stanza the poet talks about strength and weakness of these characters, okay, strength or weakness, okay, of characters. All right, you know, Valinda, ink, blink, mustard and custard. Excuse me, okay. Now moving ahead, see, Valinda tickled him, okay, Belinda tickled him, she tickled him unmerciful. Ink, blink and mustard, they rudely called him Percival. They all sat laughing in the little red wagon at the Relio Trulio cowardly dragon. Okay, so Belinda here is the little girl who tickled him. Okay, tickled means, you know, to tickle someone, to make them laugh. Okay, gudgudi in Hindi we say, you know, gudgudi. Okay, so tickling. Okay, this is called tickling. You know, I mean there's some sensation which makes you laugh, or which you know, right, you know, I mean we used to play, right, during the childhood. Okay, so tickling. Okay, so Belinda tickled him and she tickled him unmerciful. Okay, I mean it sometimes happens, right, with our, you know, with our cousin, or you know, with our loved ones. Okay, like they tickle us. Okay, and we say, I mean, you know, I mean it causes us to laugh in such a way that it causes pain in the stomach, laughing, right. Okay, so she tickled him unmerciful. Okay, ink, blink, ink is the kitten, remember, cat. Okay, so kitten, blink is the mouse, mustard is the dog. Okay, ink, blink, mustard, they rudely called him Percival. Who is the Percival? Okay, Percival, you know, I mean he was one of the, you know, I mean knights. Okay, knights means minister. Okay, he was one of the knights. Okay, one of the knights. Knights means minister. In case if you have played the game of chess, there are knights and there are kings, right? Okay, so he was one of the knight, okay, in the kingdom of King Arthur. Okay, so Percival was one of the knight in the King Arthur who always felt afraid. Okay, that is why ink, blink and mustard, they rudely called him. Him here refers to whom? Custard or dragon. Okay, so custard, as we know, is always feel afraid of the situation. So that is why ink, blink and mustard called custard Percival. Why? Because they are related Percival as a knight who was very afraid. Okay, was afraid of the situation, who felt afraid of everything. Okay, so he was one of the minister in King Arthur's kingdom. Okay. Okay, now they all sat laughing in the little red wagon. Okay, so they were in a little red wagon. Okay, they all tried to fit here. Okay, it's a very, you know, I mean whimsical thing. Okay. Even dragon, okay, dragon does not exist, it's a mythical creature. Okay, so I mean, so these are some of the, you know, I mean image which the poet has tried to create, so that it gets, you know, which tickles the mind of the readers. Okay, they all sat laughing in the little red wagon, all of them. Okay, I mean Valinda, ink, blink, mustard, custard, they all sat in a little red wagon at the Relio Trulio cowardly dragon. Whom were they laughing at? Whom were they making fun of? The cowardly dragon. Okay, Relio Trulio, it's a poetic license, as I've already discussed in the initial stanza. Okay, now okay, so in this stanza, if we need to sum up, okay, like you know, what do you call it, laughing at dragon. Okay, laughing at the dragon, this is the meaning of this in this stanza. Okay, the fifth stanza. Okay, now Valinda giggled till she shook the house, and Blink said, "Wick, which is giggling for a mouse." Ink and Mustard rudely asked his age, when Custard cried for a nice safe cage. Okay, so in this stanza, Valinda giggled. Giggle means to laugh. Okay, she laughed until she shook the house. So this is how loud she laughed. Okay, And Blink said wick. Okay, wick means when you know mouse laughed, what is the sound did the mouse make? It is wick. Okay, done. Again, see, wick is followed by an exclamation mark. Alright, if you have watched my previous videos, you know when we use exclamation mark. Exclamation mark is used when it has some emotions or feelings, right? Okay. Ink and Mustard rudely asked his age. His here refers to Custard. Okay, like you know, I mean, say someone is very you know, I mean, someone is of 25 or 30 years old, and if they feel afraid to go alone at night, what will you say? That what is your age and how you are behaving, isn't it? Okay, so they rudely asked his age. Okay, you know, look at your age and you still feel afraid of situation around you. Okay, so this is what it means. Okay, so Ink and Mustard rudely asked his age when Custard cried for a nice safe cage. Whenever Custard cries for a nice safe cage, what did Ink and Mustard do? They used to rudely ask his age. Whose age? Custard's age, or the dragon's age. Okay. Okay, so this is again, you know, I mean, so suppose laughing at the dragon. Okay, in this, I mean, making fun of dragon. Okay, laughing at the dragon. Okay, I hope I'm clear with this stanza. Now, suddenly, now comes the twist. Okay, now comes the twist. So with this twist, let me change the color of the ink. Okay, so suddenly, see, suddenly has been used twice. Why? Because this is a poetic device repetition which the poets emphasize, which the poets use to emphasize on a situation. Okay, suddenly they heard a nasty sound, and Mustard growled, and they all looked around. Mouch, cried Ink, and oh, cried Belinda, for there was a pirate climbing in the window. Okay, so in this stanza we are introduced with whom? Pirate. Okay, who is a pirate? This is a pirate. Okay, or Jack Sparrow from, you know, the Pirates of the Caribbean Sea. In case if you remember, or you can remember this character. Okay, so this is a pirate. Okay. Now, where do pirates live? Pirates live on, you know, I mean, they are basically, you know, dacoits of sea, isn't it? Okay, like in case if something goes on land, okay, some dacoit or some burglary goes on land, we call them dacoits. Okay, we say looters. Okay, if they loot on land, we call them dacoits, right? And if they loot on sea, we call them pirates. Okay. So now, can I say, like, though it is nowhere mentioned, okay, can we assume that Belinda lived near a sea? Yes or no? Yes. Why? Had she not resided near sea, do you assume or do you expect that pirate would have invaded her place? No. Right? Though this sort of question may not be asked to you, but just in case, okay, just to contemplate this, you know, the meaning which the poet is trying to portray by bringing pirate into the picture. Okay, so in this stanza, suddenly they had a nasty sound. Nasty means very bad. Okay, bad. Okay, nasty sound. And Mustard growled. Growled is the sound which dogs make. Okay, to make someone feel afraid. Okay, in case if you have been to your neighbor, okay, and you knock the gate and it is written there, beware of the dogs, and you do not notice it, as soon as you enter the gate, the dog would make the sound, the growling sound. Okay, though I'm not making this sound. Okay, we should make me sound, you know, very humorous. Anyway, so I hope you have understood. Okay, growling. All right. Mouch, cried Ink. Cried here does not mean cry. Okay, this is the reaction which Ink here refers to the kitten. Okay, Mouch referred again followed by exclamation mark. Exclamation mark means what? Okay, an expression which has feelings or emotion. Acha, now can I mean, are this emotion happy or sad? These are of sadness, okay, or something of worrisome, okay, because they felt afraid of the pirate. Okay, oh, cried Belinda. Oh, again followed by an exclamation mark. Okay, so this punctuation mark, you know, exclamation mark is very important. Whenever you find an exclamation mark, always remember that there is some emotions which is involved. Okay, for there was a pirate. For why did they make this sound? Okay, growling, mouch, and oh, why did they make that sound? Because there was a pirate climbing in the window. Window here refers to window. Why did the poet use window? Because poets have poetic license. Okay, so now in this stanza we are introduced with a pirate. Okay, see, before I move ahead, okay, I'm just for your knowledge, I'm just going to tell you that you must have seen this, this black thing on the eyes of pirates, right? This is why I've just inserted this image. Okay, this is called eye patch. Okay, this does not mean that the pirates do not have eyes. They have both the eyes. Okay, why do they use eye patch? Because say there is a pirate A, okay, wants to invade the ship of pirate B, okay, or any ship, okay, okay, any ship of any other person, right? Not just pirates itself. Okay, sometimes they have this this rivalry sort of a thing. Okay, so in case if pirate A wants to invade the ship of pirate B, when they enter inside the ship, do you think the ship would be bright, full of lights, or will it be dark? It will be dark. Okay, so naturally our eyes take time to adjust in the brightness and darkness. Okay, just compare yourself, just light up a torch and put it near your eyes. Okay, light a torch near your eyes. Okay, just stare at it for around say 10 seconds. Okay, and then shut down the torch. See, you will not be able to see anything. Everything you see will be dark. Why? Because your eyes take time to adjust to the current lighting situation. Okay, now if they do not wear the eye patch and with both the eyes, when they are in the sea, okay, on a bright sunny day, their both eyes will be used to the sun, right? So in case done, so when they enter inside the ship of their rival, will they be able to adjust to the lighting situation instantly? No. What do they do? So this Mr. Pirate will shift the eye patch before he enters, eye patch from his right eye to the left eye. Okay, done, so that this eye can adjust to the lighting situation of darkness. Why? Because this eye has been used to darkness, right? Because this has been covered by a patch. Okay, so when this patch moves this side, okay, so his right eye will be able to see the darkness. Okay, adjust the darkness at much faster rate than this eye would. All right. Okay, so this was just for your general knowledge. Okay, now coming back to the poem. Now, pistols in his left hand, pistols in his right, and he held in his teeth a cutlass bright. His beard was black, one leg was wood. It was clear that pirate meant no good. Okay, so in this stanza, the poet Auden Nash gives the description of the pirate. Okay, so pistols in his left hand. Okay, though in this image there is no pistol, say suppose this is a pistol. Okay, assume this as, okay, on his left hand, right? Okay, so on his left hand. Okay, so say suppose there is a pistol. Okay, pistol on his left hand. Okay, so suppose there is a pistol on his left hand and pistol in his right. Okay, so even on his right hand, okay, wait, okay, yeah, this is the left hand. Okay, yeah, this is the left hand, so there is a pistol in this hand as well. Okay, so both the hands he had pistol, and he held in his teeth a cutlass bright. Cutlass bright means this is a cutlass bright. Okay, it's a sharp knife which is a cutlass. Okay, say suppose this knife. Okay, so this knife he held in his teeth. Okay, so, how do you form an image of this? Open your mouth, okay, and just imagine yourself putting a knife in your mouth and holding it with your teeth. Okay, with your teeth, right? So this is a situation which they are at. Okay, so he held in his teeth a cutlass bright. Cutlass bright is a knife. Okay, his beard was black. So suppose this one. Okay, see his beard here, it is orange. Okay, so let me just draw it as black. Okay, okay, so his beard was black. Okay, his beard was black, one leg was of wood. See, one leg is of wood. Are you able to see this? Okay, one leg is of wood, was wood. It was clear that the pirate meant no good. Okay, pirate meant no good means bad intention, okay, evil intention. Okay, did pirate come inside the the house to help them or to offer them some pizza? No, he came inside the house to loot them. All right, so this is the meaning. It was clear that pirate meant no good. Okay, so in this stanza the poet gave the description of the pirate. Okay, I hope I am clear so far. All right, in case of any doubt, do WhatsApp me or you can leave a comment down below. Okay, I shall reply at the earliest. Okay, and in case if you know me personally or have been attending my regular classes, you can ask in the classroom. Okay, okay. Now Belinda paled and she cried, help, help, but Mustard fled with her terrified yelp. Okay, see, this is very humorous. Okay, ink trickled down to the bottom of the household and little mouse blinked strategically mousehold. Okay, see, okay, see, this is very ironical. Okay, in this stanza, in the fourth stanza, I told you what that I mean the poet describes about the strength and weakness of each of the characters, right? So we saw that Custard was weak and rest all the characters were very strong. That one was one had barrel full of bears, one had the courage. Okay, two of them had the courage to chase lion down the stairs. Again, Mustard was as brave as tiger in a rage. Okay, but in this stanza all the strength flew away from the window. Okay, chumantar ho gaya. Okay, dekho, listen, Belinda paled means to feel afraid. Okay, when you feel afraid you start to get pale. Okay, Belinda paled means reaction. Okay, her face turned pale out of the worry which she was or out of the fear which she had, which got inflicted inside her after she saw the pirate. Okay, and she cried and she shouted for help, 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 again followed by exclamation mark, and we very well know why these exclamation mark are being used. Okay, but Mustard fled with a terrified yelp. Yelp means run. Okay, Mustard here is the dog. Okay, terrified yelp. Yelp means with a bark. Okay, with a sound. What did he do? He ran away. Okay, ink trickled down to the bottom of the household. Okay, ink here refers to the kitten. Okay, so bottom of the household. So there are ground floor and first floor. Okay, so the pirate entered the first floor. So there are stairs, right? So as soon as ink saw the pirate, ink ran down to the bottom of the house or maybe out of the house. Okay, anything you may imagine, though, because nothing is specifically mentioned. Okay, see, say suppose this one. Okay, so say pirate entered through this window or through this window. All right, this window. So ink, what did he do? He ran out of that room and went down and maybe came out and ran away. Okay, now what is the stanza? All right, see. Okay, ink trickled down to the bottom of the household. Trickle means run. Okay, and little mouse blinked strategically mousehold. Strategically mousehold means he ran inside her mousehold. Achha, we all are aware of this. Isn't it? What does it represent? The house of the legendary character Mr. Jerry Bhaiya. Okay, remember Jerry. Okay, whenever Tom chased Jerry ran inside this mousehole. So this is mousehole. Okay, achha, again there is no such as mousehole. Okay, it is called mousehole. All right, it is called mousehole. So why did the author add D? Because the poet has poetic license. All right, again, why did poet add D? Because poet has poetic license. And why did he use his license? Because household and mousehold rhymes, right? Just as help and yelp, it rhymes, right? In the same way, household and mousehold rhymes. Had poet written household and again wrote the actual usage of word mousehold, does it rhyme? No. Household, mousehold, does it rhyme? No. That is why he has added D. So this is the poetic license which the poet has used. Am I clear so far? Okay, I hope I'm clear so far. Okay, so in this stanza, it again talks. Okay, the poet talks about the strength and weakness. Okay, strength and weakness of all the characters. Okay, again one more thing, did we discuss about Custard? No. Why? Because Custard now will show his own true color of heroism. Okay, now shows, okay, in this case not the weakness, not the strength. Okay, let me just rub this, only the weakness. Okay, no strength. In this stanza we shall learn about this strength of whom? Strength of Custard. All right. Okay, excuse me. See, so but up jumped Custard, snorting like an engine, clashed with his tail like irons in a dungeon, with a clatter and a clank and a jangling scream. He went at the pirate like a robin at a worm. Okay, so in this stanza the poet gives the, you know, a heroic description of Custard. Okay, now Custard is showing its true color. Okay, okay, but up jumped Custard. Up jumped means to appear. Okay, to, you know, to suddenly appear in the picture. Okay, so up jumped Custard. Custard is the dragon, snorting like an engine. Okay, so this is the engine. Snorting means, okay, with the sound. Okay, sound of an engine. Okay, so Custard appeared into the picture by making a sound which is similar to an engine. Okay, so this is the image which I have inserted for your reference. Okay, clashed his tail like irons in a dungeon. Clashed his tail. Okay, see, this is the tail. Okay, this is the tail of a dragon. Okay, excuse me, let me change the color. Okay, this is the tail of a dragon. Now if, as this tail is there, okay, if the dragon flips its tail and brings at such a speed and hits at a wall, okay, just imagine the sound which it would produce with an iron in a dungeon. Dungeon, you know, it's a cell, it's a confined cell or a jail where you know, people were locked during the olden days. Okay, just imagine a jail, okay, as a dungeon. Okay, you can just Google dungeon, you will find several images. Okay, so dungeon, and there are some, you know, iron, what do you call it, the you know, the doors. Okay, we don't call them doors, like you know, what is it, gate. Okay, which are made of irons. Now if you open a gate in a jail, and when the culprit is put inside a jail, and when they lock the gate, you must have, you know, if you imagine that situation, it is like this. Okay, it is like the same situation. If there are irons which are closed in a dungeon, the sound which the irons would produce in a dungeon, okay, because dungeon is, you know, it's a lonely place, so the sound, it would obviously echo, right? The sound will be more. The sound of irons in a dungeon has been compared with the tail of dragon which he clashed against the wall. Okay, or no, clashed his tail. Though wall isn't mentioned, I have mentioned wall so that you are able to relate to it. Okay, so clashed his tail like irons in a dungeon. Okay, why did dragon do this? To inflict fear in the mind of pirate. Okay, with a clatter and clank. Okay, so with a clatter and a clank and jangling scream. Okay, scream means to move constantly. Okay, to move constantly. Okay, and all these words are kind of synonymous. Okay, clatter, clank, okay, jangling. Okay, all this with a clatter and a clank. Okay, the dragon is moving constantly, and the sounds which the dragon is making are clatter, clank, and jangling. He went at the pirate. Now this is very important. Okay, before I read this poem, okay, Auden Nash, the poet, has written it so systematically. Okay, until in this stanza, the poet actually wrote these 3 lines. Okay, he has and this last line of this stanza should be read after this few of these lines. Why? Because he went at a pirate like a robin at a worm. Okay, why did he went at the pirate like a robin? Robin is a bird. Okay, robin is a bird which flies and eats worm. Okay, so he went at the, he means dragon. Okay, so dragon went at the pirate like Robin at a worm. So here worm refers to pirate and Robin refers to dragon. Okay, so these are some of the poetic device which the poet used. Okay, so I shall name it later. Now, as of now, see. So he went at the. Why did he went at the pirate like a Robin at a dragon? The answer is given in this stanza. Is it clear? Okay, see. So the pirate gaped at Belinda's dragon and gulped some grog from his pocket flagon. He fired 2 bullets, but they did not hit, and Custard gobbled him every bit. Okay, so in this stanza, we this basically talks about rest in peace, okay, of the pirate. Okay, the pirate had rest in peace. Okay, now see, the pirate gaped at Belinda's dragon. Gape means to stare at someone, okay, in surprise. To stare at surprise. Gaped means to stare at someone with surprise. Okay, to stare with surprise. All right. So the pirate gaped at Belinda's dragon. Why did pirate gaped at Belinda's dragon after all this reaction which dragon had showed? Okay. Now, and gulped some grog. Gulp means to drink. Okay. Gulped some grog. Grog means wine from his pocket flagon. Okay. Pocket flagon. Okay. It's made of some, it's silver in color. In case you must have seen this. Okay. It is shaped this way. Okay, it's basically a wine container, okay, which contains wine. Okay, it's this shape. Okay, you must have seen in some some actors drinking out of this in a movie as well. Okay, in some Bollywood or Hollywood movies. Okay, you will mostly find this in Hollywood movies. Okay, so gulped some grog, he drank some wine from his pocket flagon. Flagon is a container. Okay, which is silver in color. Okay, flagon is a container which is silver in color, and what is it used for? It is used to store wine. Okay, now he fired 2 bullets. The pirate fired 2 bullets at whom? At dragon. But did they hit? No. He fired 2 bullets, but they did not hit. Okay, and this is the mistake which pirate committed, which had ultimately led him to rest in peace. Okay. Okay, may his soul rest in peace. Okay, the pirate is dead here. Okay. Some flowers as well. Okay. He fired 2 bullets, but they did not hit, and Custard gobbled him every bit. Gobble means to swallow. Okay. See, so how did he gobble him? Again, it brings us to the previous stanza. Okay, the last line of the previous stanza. See, he went at the pirate like a robin at a worm, and he directly took the entire pirate through his throat, and it went into his stomach. Okay, gobbled him. He did not bite. Okay, he did not chew to swallow the pirate. Okay, the Custard went at the pirate and directly swallowed him. Okay, did dragon chew the Custard? Sorry, no. Did Custard chew pirate? No. Okay, this may sound nasty. Okay, but this is just for your understanding. In case if this question comes. Okay. फिर बोलोगे सर आपने बताया नहीं. Okay, so this is just for your reference. Okay, in case if this comes, that did dragon chew pirate? No, dragon had swallowed him. Okay, concept creates a lot of difference between 90 and 30% students. Okay, a person securing 90 may have memorized, and again a person secures 60 may have conceptual knowledge. Okay, concepts travel far. Okay, memorization will just lead you to the just the ceiling. Okay, they're just saying. Okay, memorization will lead you to ceiling, whereas concept will take you to stars. All right, to the sky. Okay, so always believe in concept. Why? Because you are in concept classes. Okay, so moving ahead. Okay, I hope I'm clear with this stanza. Okay, now, so do remember this gobbled. Okay, in case if this is asked. All right, now let us come to the few of the ending stanzas. Okay, concluding stanzas. See, so Belinda embraced him. So in this stanza, until this stanza, the pirate is rest in peace. Okay, the pirate is dead. Now we come to a stanza which is again full of happiness. Remember, I told you. Okay, the poem revolves first with the starting, okay, with the heroic characters. Okay, again there is some fight between hero versus villain. Okay, so we are done with this starting with all the introduction. Again we came across the hero who is the custard, villain is the pirate, and the fight amongst them, right? Everything, all the adventure. Now we come to the concluding lines, which will talk about the happiness. Okay, so before happiness, we can say, the climax in the movie. Okay, and then it will be the end. Okay, now we shall read about the climax, and the last two lines will mark the end. Okay, now see, so Belinda embraced him, Mustard licked him, no one mourned for his pirate victim, Ink and Blink in glee did gyrate around the dragon that ate the pirate. Okay, so in this stanza, now all the characters have uprised. Okay, now they are again back to the picture. Okay, because now pirate is dead, and they are not afraid of that pirate anymore, right? So Belinda embraced him. Embrace means, to hug someone. Okay, to hug. Okay, so Belinda embraced him. Embrace means to hug him. Whom? The custard. Mustard licked him. Okay, this is, this is what any of these creatures, okay, like the dog, or tigers, okay, or anyone belonging to the cat family, whenever they show their affection towards their loved ones, what do? They lick them. Okay, you must have seen a lion licking its cub, okay, or a tiger licking its cub, okay, the baby tiger. Okay, why do they lick them? So that they can show their affection or their sympathy towards the little one. Okay, so this is why Mustard licked him. Who is the Mustard? Mustard is the dog. Okay, can Mustard hug the no? Okay, now no one mourned for his pirate victim. Okay, and there is not a reason to mourn. Mourn means to show sympathy, okay, or to feel sad about. Okay, mourning. Okay, there is a mourning session goes on, right, in case if some great personalities or anyone die, right, or anyone in your family, in case if they go for eternal heaven. Okay, like in case if they are gone eternally, what do? We mourn their death, right? But in this case, no one mourned or felt sad for the death of the pirate victim. Okay, who done? Victim of whom? Victim of the dragon. Okay, so Ink, Blink in glee. Glee means happiness. Glee in happiness did gyrate. Okay, gyrate means to basically move around. Okay, to form a circle. So say this is the the custard. This is custard. So dog here. Okay, they are moving around the custard. Okay, dog, cat, Blink. Okay, everyone. Okay, forming a circle. Okay, and they are moving around the custard. All right, to show their happiness. Now around the dragon, that see, gyrate around the dragon. Okay, around the dragon. Why? Because he ate the pirate and he saved the lives of all the other characters in this poem. Okay, characters such as Ink, Blink, Mustard, and the little girl Belinda. Okay, now, but presently upspoke. Now in this stanza we shall learn about the arrogance of the other characters and the humility of the custard. Okay, see, but presently upspoke little dog Mustard, I would have been twice as brave if I had not been flustered, and upspoke Ink and upspoke Blink, we would have been 3 times as brave, we think, and Custard said, I quite agree that everybody is braver than me. Okay, so in this stanza, now this is again an irony, as well as it shows that how arrogant these characters are. Okay, but presently upspoke little dog Mustard. Okay, now the little dog Mustard all of a sudden says that he would have been twice as brave as whom? Custard. Okay, he would have been twice as brave if I hadn't been flustered. Flustered means confused. Okay, the dog says that the dog was confused after the dog saw the pirate and that dog ran away. Okay, had dog not been confused, the dog could have killed the pirate. Again upspoke Apsum is to speak over, okay. Ink is the kitten, and blink, what did they say? They would have been 3 times okay, dog was twice, okay. They would have been 3 times the brave than they think. Now they say ink and blink, remember ink, okay, ink ran down the stairs, ink ran down the stairs, and blink went to the mouse hole, okay. Now the ink says that he would not have run down the stairs, and blink would not have been to mouse hole had they not been, okay, I mean had they been present there, okay. They would have been 3 times brave than whom? 3 times, okay, 3 times the brave than whom? Than dragon, okay. So this may come as MCQ, okay. So dog could have been how many times brave? 2 times brave. And ink and blink how many times? 3 times, okay. But Belinda, she was again good, okay. She did not compare herself, or she did not try to demean the heroic or the heroism which the little dragon had shown, okay. Unlike Mustard, Ink and Blink, okay, who tried to demean the the heroism of the the dragon, okay. And in these lines, in the last 2 lines, this shows the humility, okay, or the goodness of Custard. And Custard said, I quite agree that everybody is braver than me, okay. Custard says, Custard says, yes, you all are right, okay. You all would have been much braver than me had you not been confused, or or had they not gone down the stairs, or had Blink not hid himself inside the mouse hole, okay. So I hope I'm clear with this stanza. So this marks the end. New message. So what do we do with the last 2 stanzas? See, last 2 stanzas come from 1st and 4th stanza, okay. This is very important. See, in the first, okay, first let us read this line so that I can compare, okay. See, Belinda still lives, okay, in her little white house with her little black kitten and her little grey mouse and her little yellow dog and her little red wagon and her really or truly or little pet dragon. This stanza, okay, this stanza comes from the initial stanza, the first stanza, okay. If I scroll down to the scroll up to the first stanza, see, Belinda lived. In this case it was lived. Why? Because we are starting, okay. As we come to the end, when do we come to the end? Okay, and here end is marking the beginning, okay. So Belinda still lives. Lives here implies present tense, okay, right. So Belinda still lives in a little white house with her little black kitten and her little grey mouse and her little yellow dog and her little red wagon and her really or truly or little pet dragon, okay. So this is the repetition of first stanza but in present tense, okay. And in this case, okay, so how many stanzas are there? As I've counted, there are 15 stanzas, okay. Why did I count these stanzas? Okay, so that I can help you solve an MCQ if it is being asked. See, in the first 4th stanza, those were in what tense? Past tense. But 14th, okay, this is the 14th stanza, okay, and this is the 15th stanza. 14th and 15th stanza, it is in present. Is it clear? Okay, so if a question asks, okay, if a question is being framed by your respective teacher with respect to an MCQ, okay, that first and 4th stanza talks in past tense, true or false? It is true. And it is said that 14th and 15th stanza is set as present tense, true or false? It is true. All right, so I have tried to ease your effort, okay, which you would have made when you in case if you have read the entire poem by yourself, okay, because you had to read between the lines, okay. Always learn to read between the lines, okay. No one would make it clear for you, okay. When you grow up, when you go to for higher education, All right, you have to read between the lines, okay, because nowhere it is mentioned that that 14th and 15th stanza talks about past, okay, oh sorry, present. But you have to know, just with some little knowledge in the field of grammar, okay, we know that lives talks about present, okay, present, but in lives, which form of verb? This is the fifth form of verb, okay, done, fifth form of verb, right, lives, okay. Okay, now and the 15th stanza, what does it talk about? Let us mark the end, okay. Belinda is as brave. Earlier in the 4th stanza it was, where is it? See, Belinda was as brave, right? Belinda was as brave. Was is past. In this case, is. Where do you go? Is. Here marks the present. Okay. Is, again, if you talk grammatically, this is the be form of verb. Okay. If you have watched my previous video on adjective, okay, or no, on pronoun. Okay, just scroll down to my playlist, you'll find a video on pronoun. If you watch it, I have discussed about be verb. Okay, so is, am, are, were. Okay, so let me just just for general knowledge. Okay, is, am, are, was, were. Okay, these are all what verb? Be verb. What verb? Be form of verb. Some say to be. Okay, to be or be verb. These are called be verb. Okay, so be, but in which tense? Present or past? This is present, because was is past. Okay, was, it was past. Okay, so Belinda is as brave as barrel full of bears. Ink and blink chase lion down the stairs. Mustard is as brave as tiger in a rage, but Custard keeps crying for a nice safe cage. Okay, everything is going on as it went on. Just in between there was a twist where pirate had come and the pirate had gone. Okay. Okay. Okay, so I hope I'm clear with this poem. In case of any doubt, you can WhatsApp or you can put a comment down below. Okay, and in case if you want solution to all the questions or answers to all the question, done, you can WhatsApp me on my contact number. Okay, so I can send you the handwritten form of all the notes. Okay, so this brings us to the end. I shall meet in another video. Wrapping this up, this is your sir Abdul here. Thank you and Jai Hind.